Hey guys, this is Angie at Chicken Scratch, and this is the card we're making today. Like I said last week, I was going to be featuring the Bird Banter stamp set since it's retiring. Okay, so here are the supplies. Thick Whisper white cardstock that measures 8.5 by 5.5. We've got Rich Razzleberry that measures 4 1/4 by 2 1/4. Tutti Frutti Designer Series paper that measures 4 by 2. That's also retiring. Lemon Lime Twist, that's 3 by 3, and then Whisper White, that's a 2 3/8 by 2 3/8 square. I have two just in case I mess up on the first one. Okay, head over to my website, leave a comment to enter to win the kit. It includes the Whisper White envelope as well. This will make this project. And if you don't have this stamp set, you can always use a different image. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is score this. I'm going to place it on the Simply Scored scoring tool and score it at 4 1/4, and then fold it in half to form the card base. Now, if you guys tried to place an order last night or today, there was some little crazy things going on with the website. It's all back up and running now, my Stampin' Up! Website, so all is well. You can place orders again. Okay, so I'm going to place this here. I'm not sure I've done this in a really long time. But I'm going to take a pencil, and I had it right here in front of me where to put it. Here we go. I attached a string to it so I wouldn't lose it, but then I still lost it. That's because it's white. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is draw some lines. And this is going to be covered up with the Rich Razzleberry, so it's okay that it has these lines. And the reason that we're doing it is because we're going to stamp the flowers. I'll show that to you again in just a second. So I think that's pretty good. That's all I need. So we're going to lift this up, and now we see the lines. Looks pretty funny, right? I'll show you what I mean. So we're going to stamp these flowers, and that goes under the Rich Razzleberry. Okay, so now we're going to start with the Memento ink, and we're going to start with this leaf image, and we're going to stamp it up here in the corner. And over here on the side, uh-oh, I smeared that one. Grr. I'm not starting over. And then over here on the side, and again. Grr. That'll be covered up with the Rich Razzleberry, so it's okay. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to turn the cardstock upside down so that I get a better stamped image. See? Okay, so now we're going to get the Rich Razzleberry. Let me close this up before I get ink everywhere. And we're going to stamp the little flower. So, Rich Razzleberry. And just right about there. Same thing. Okay, looks pretty good, right? Now let's take our Whisper White piece, and we're going to stamp our little parakeet. This is a parakeet, and the greeting. So we'll start with the greeting. Okay, so a little birdie told me, and right about there. I love that we can see exactly where we're stamping, except I smeared it, so yay, I have myself another piece here, so I can start over. I don't know how I smeared it, so I'll stop talking. I always say that's what messes me up. Okay, much better. And now we'll stamp the little parakeet. This was my children's very first pet, was a little parakeet, and his name was Chirpy, and he talked up a storm. He was the cutest little thing. Okay, so now we're going to give that a second to dry, and what we'll do is go ahead and attach our Designer Series paper to the Rich Razzleberry. Okay, and now, while that's still drying, we're going to take the not layering squares, stitch-shaped framelits, and we're going to cut out this Lemon Lime Twist. So here's the big shot. got to slide my project over. A magnetic platform and a cutting pad. A lemon lime twist, placing it at an angle so that my Big Shot will cut it out easier. So if you have any trouble, just place it in there as an angle. Sometimes I forget that, even though I've known it for a long time. Okay, so let's get all of our pieces back over here. Here's our card base. So I'm going to take the dark old olive. Well, let's see. I'll show you what the light looks like, and you decide which one you want. So that's the light color, which I kind of like the light. So whatever color you want to use to color the leaves. Now you could erase those pencil lines if you want. Since it's all going to be under the rich raspberry, I'm actually not going to, because it's going to be covered. Yeah. I think I have 2 more Bird Banter cards to share with you guys. That looks pretty good. So we're just going to take the adhesive and add this to the card front. I just want to make sure it's centered between the left and the right and the top and the bottom. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, we're going to take some lemon lime twist striped ribbon. I need to get a nice point at the end. Well, that wasn't very good, was it? Okay, so there we go. Just like that. It's going to go right past. And then now on this side, just a little bit past. And then I'm just going to take my snail and put a strip. This is where I sometimes wish that we had a second snail, just a little bit thinner. But it only went past it just a tad, so that's okay. And then now let's color our little parakeet with the Stampin' Blends. I'm going to use a combination of Daffodil Delight, Old Olive, and pumpkin pie. Pumpkin for the beak. Let's see. And if you've ever had a parakeet, you kind of know that they really are multicolored. They, yeah. Elvis has lots of colors, but he's a cockatiel, but still. My daughter insisted on having a blue one time, and it was the first female bird we'd ever had, and boy was she a biter. And last but not least is the pumpkin for the beak. Although the beak could be gray, you know, could be smoky slate. That's usually what color they are. Okay, there's our little bird. We'll call that Chirpy. He was such a lovely bird. Okay, like Elvis. I'm just going to add it right here in the middle. 2 3/8 by 2 3/8 was the square. You can cut that out with the layer and squares framelits if you want to. So if you wanted to stamp it first and then cut it out, yeah. So it's going to go just like that. So I'm going to take the back off the Stampin' Dimensionals. And look, I didn't stamp my flowers far enough down. They're almost getting completely covered. So remember when you make this card to stamp those flowers down a little bit further and maybe stamp these up. Yeah. So I made my lines. I should have raised them up a tad. Sorry about that. Okay, have a great day. Thanks a lot. Bye.